welcome everyone. We're just getting everything set up for today's webinar, and so glad that you could join us here today. As we get going, today's session will be focused on artificial intelligence and marketing. And whether you're tuning in from your cozy home office, a coffee shop, or squeezing us in between meetings, again, thank you so much for being here today. And yeah, we're just admitting people slowly into the room who are joining us for, again, today's webinar. And just curious to know who we do have in the room. If you could maybe share where you're joining us from across the province, that would be great. You can use the chat box in the bottom to be able to type your response. Awesome. We have some locations joining in. We have everywhere from Medicine Hat, Fort McMurray, Edmonton and Calgary, of course, Musquecheese, Red Deer, St. Albert, what else? Grand Prairie, and Irricana. Okay, I haven't heard of that place in a long time. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us at today's webinar. As we get going, Business Link acknowledges and respects that we are on traditional land, meeting grounds, territories, gathering places, and traveling routes of Treaty 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10, and the home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge the lands of those who have come before us, reside here now, and in the future. So a few housekeeping things as we get started. There is a Q&A feature. We encourage folks to use the Q&A box should you have any questions, just so nothing does get missed. And the session will also be recorded and it'll be available made on YouTube approximately 1 to 2 days afterwards. Again, encouraging everyone to type in their questions in the Q&A box during the session, and we'll try to get through as many questions as we can. And I do want to point out that live captions are available, and you can turn them on using the CC button on Zoom. And just a quick note that chat is not available amongst attendees, but we can see internally what folks are mentioning. So I do encourage you to participate as well during today's session. And today's session, we're again welcome to present on understanding artificial intelligence, unlocking its potential in marketing. And in this session, we'll learn how AI is changing marketing and how to use it effectively in your strategy. Get tips to work smarter and drive better results with your business. And my name is David Beta. I'm Manager Client Services here at Business Link. And yeah, if this is your first time joining a Business Link session, welcome. And who Business Link is? Business Link is a government-funded nonprofit that helps small businesses in Alberta to start, grow, and thrive. We offer free one-on-one support, market research, programs, and resources to help entrepreneurs at any stage of their journey. And for today's presenter, we have 910. 910 is a passionate, dedicated team of lifelong learners on a mission to help Alberta small businesses and entrepreneurs develop their brands, establish their online presence, and become self-sufficient in activating their digital marketing strategies. Learn, grow, and develop through their brand, web, print, and training services. Visit 910.ca for more. All right, and I'm going to pass things over to our amazing presenters who will be sharing their expertise for today's webinar. I'm sure we'll have a lot to learn, so please do keep engaged with us and ask your questions. And I will pass things over to them now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, David, for the intro. We love doing these webinars and sharing knowledge about all things digital marketing, and today a lot about AI and all of this stuff relevant to small, medium businesses. So a slide ago, you saw a picture of Megan and I. You're familiar with us if you've been on these sessions, but we have a special guest today. One of our technology partners and AI specialist, Arpit, will be joining. We're actually just having some difficulties right now, so he'll be jumping on in a moment, and we'll do a proper intro. So I'll jump right into it and keep it short because I'm going to take a sideline today. As you know, 910, we're a small, lean and fierce team based out of Grand Prairie, Alberta, but we serve all of Western Canada, and we really specialize on working with small, medium businesses. And so our mission is to help small, medium businesses to establish your brand, build your online foundation, and then especially through our training academy and all of the tools that we offer, a lot of the AI tools in particular, which we'll talk about today, we're really trying to equip small, medium businesses to succeed by taking a lot of their in-house digital marketing, internally. You can do this on your own with the right training and the right tools. So we'll provide a little bit of demo about that today. And our vision is that if you're a small, medium business in Alberta, you can succeed and thrive, even learning how to manage all these new digital marketing tools and AI and whatnot. So, if you've been part of these sessions, you know that we always start with the brand. Before you can market and promote yourself online, you need to really understand your brand. We also, as an agency, do a lot of design work. We do print, websites all day long, e-commerce, and then marketing. You have to ultimately market yourself and put your product and services and your tell the world what you're about and who you're trying to target, all that sort of stuff. And AI has been a tool that is significantly changing how easy it is for small, medium businesses to manage all of this. And so we provide training and certification at our training academy. Megan leads our training academy. And then increasingly, we have lots of different tools that we use for ourselves and then we make available for our clients as well. The one that's catching everyone's attention, and we'll demo today with Megan and Arpit, is our AI chatbot. So with that, Megan, let me hand it back over to you and jump right in, and I'll stay to the sidelines.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am excited to be sharing a lot of really exciting things about, it's not just about ChatGPT. We know the term ChatGPT, we know who is using it. It's all over the place, but there's so many more applications to AI than just one platform. So we want to kind of take a little bit of a step back. Our session in September is going to be all about ChatGPT. But today we wanted to take a little bit of a step back and look a little bit more holistically and how we can approach AI from a business and marketing standpoint to really build up the best foundations and the best skills for your business and for your team. So, what is AI? AI feels like magic, right? It feels like this wild thing that how could we even comprehend how it builds and responds the way that it does and creates things that us as humans can hardly comprehend. But realistically, AI can be boiled down into some pretty foundational pieces. One is big data. It's a big data collection, different databases from all around the world. AI is able to collect all of that information and recognize patterns, right? So AI formulates responses and generates the next step in the process based on the patterns that they see through the big data collection, right? So realistically, it's not creating anything new per se. It is creating something based on the pattern that it's already seen, based on how we prompt it, right? Before AI, which AI has actually been around for quite a while, but before the common use of AI, a lot of how we interacted with computers was through script, through your HTML codes and things like that, where it's kind of technical and you have to have a very specialized skill set in order to get the computer to do the things that you need it to do, right? Now, with AI, we use the natural language modeling. So you're able to use your own language in order to get the results that you want, in order to have AI perform the way that you want it to perform, which is a very unique thing in that now everybody has access to these tools and not just people with very specialized skill sets. Something that I want to talk just briefly on, because we'll look at it a little bit later on as well, is the difference between generative AI versus responsive AI. So generative AI is what is very commonly used by most people right now today, right? Those are the chat GPTs, the mid journeys, right? When you're creating something based on context, right? You're asking ChatGPT to create a post for social media. You're asking Sora to create a video that you can put on your website, right? Responsive AI are going to be things like your process helpers, the things that help you book appointments into your calendar, right? Where you have a chatbot on your website and it engages with people in order to capture leads and bring them into your ecosystem. So we have the capabilities now as small businesses to utilize all of these different tools at our disposal, right? So we have so many new technologies that are available and consistently becoming available as we grow and learn and change that are so unique in this new digital landscape. So we're going to be talking a little bit about all of that today. So I just wanted to touch on some of the foundations because when we talk about AI, it's a big, bold beast, right? There's so many things that we can do with AI. We need to be able to understand how to use it properly and effectively. Something that I've heard pretty often in the training program that we work with small businesses is that, well, what's the point in me using ChatGPT and using AI when all I do is just go back and forth with it and it doesn't give me what I actually need? And so then you end up putting in more work than if you were to just do it yourself anyways, right? So setting yourself up with the foundations gives you a leg up really in a way where you're able to use the tools more effectively and actually use them to your benefit rather than just, oh, it's fun to use this new tool, so we're going to use it for the sake of it, right? Use it for a purpose. So the first one is research skills. You have to be able to identify false information, qualify data, and actually understand when something is useful and helpful, right? Very often, if you give AI very vague prompts, it will give you something very vague in response. And so you're going to have to sift through and make sure that the information that it's giving you is reliable and effective. And if it's not, I think this was last year actually already, but there was a trend going around where people were asking ChatGPT, how do you spell, or how many R's are in the word strawberry? And it was saying that there was 2 R's in the word strawberry, which we know is not correct. And so as the users, we have to acknowledge that AI is not perfect, and we have to be able to suss out that information and whether or not it's accurate and correct and information that we want to share with our audiences. So research skills are important so that you can actually go through and verify the information that you're getting from AI. You also have to understand how to summarize sources, right? You might get some really great information that you know is true, right? You've read the research paper, you've gathered the information from a bunch of different sources around the web. Now you have to go to AI to be able to summarize that and actually build something out of it. Let's say you wanted to build a blog post summarizing these 3 different articles that you've read. You, as the user, need to be able to summarize those elements and transfer that into something new. So that's a research skill, is being able to summarize that information. You also have to understand how to extract relevant information. There's a lot of pieces of information out on the internet that are not relevant or useful or helpful to what you're doing. And so when you're working with AI, there will be some times where it pulls in irrelevant information because of how much data it has access to, right? So we have to be able to pull out the irrelevant information and coach our AI tools along the way in order to get the accurate information. We also have to foundationally understand content writing. And this is really a very specific niche because so many people rely on AI tools to write content, whether that's scripts for videos or website content or social media, blog posts, emails, all of the different kinds of content. We have to understand actually foundationally how it's supposed to sound, how it's supposed to come together. We, as the humans, have to understand best practice so that we can identify if it's doing it wrong, right? We can't just blindly rely on something that it gives us because it may or may not be right. So when we're talking about understanding SEO, for example, we want to write a blog post that's SEO optimized. We have to know what the keywords are that we want to use. We have to know the geolocation that we're trying to target so that we can use some of those keywords in the language that we're using. So content writing is a very foundational skill if you're going to be using generative AI for writing content. Um, you really have to understand your brand voice so you can tell your AI what brand voice you want to impart in the content. You have to understand kind of the levels of language and the length that's appropriate for what you're trying to write. If you are wanting to write a very high level educational article for your blog, that is going to be targeting a different audience than if you're writing a sales pitch for LinkedIn, right? So you have to understand those differences so that you can coach your AI effectively. If you're not understanding those differences, it's really tough for the AI to actually get something that's useful for you. The next foundational skill is problem solving. You have to understand how to fix mistakes and troubleshoot and test. If the AI that you are using is not giving you the results that you need, you have to be able to understand how to work through that and fix the problem and understand where the issues are. A lot of it comes down to, if I'm working in a thread with AI and it's starting to not give me the results that I want, I have to go back into the thread and see where the instructions were that I had given that is prompting the results that I'm getting now. And so very often it comes down to I will take the last result that I liked, close out the thread and open a new one, right? So that's problem solving, understand how to think critically around the problems that you're facing with AI. It's not, like I said, it's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Editing skills, reading through something and rereading through something to create something that is uniquely yours, right? You alone know, well, not you alone, but you alone can decide what your brand voice is going to be, right? What you want your brand voice to be, how you want to be represented digitally, right? So you have to understand how to go through a piece of content and edit it, or go through something that is provided to you by AI and edit it to make sure that you're presenting out into the world what you actually want to present. Brand strategy is the last key foundation. Brand strategy is the foundations to anything marketing related, anything business related, really. It's what determines your audience. It's what determines who you are, your purpose, your mission, your vision, your values. It's what drives your goals and your direction for everything else that you do with your business, right? This is critical to effective AI use because what it does is it informs how you prompt. It informs the direction of the content that you're creating. It informs the direction of your chatbots and how the chatbots respond to clients on your website. It shapes everything in your business and your marketing. And that's why it's so critical and important, especially if you're going to be using AI tools where you yourself might have that information in your brain, right? You might know that yourself, but you need to be able to write that down and impart that into your AI tools so that they can then represent you as part of the business, right? So this is a really huge key part of that. All right. Foundations. Sorry, I'm talking a lot here. Thank you, Arpit, for joining. It's lovely to see you. I'd like to introduce Arpit to everyone. He's our technology partner that's going to be showing a little bit more about AI. But Arpit, I'd love to get your take on some of the foundations here.
Thanks, Megan. It's a pleasure to be here, getting a chance to meet all the lovely folks here in this room. Foundations to AI. I mean, it's the basic building foundations that are essential for anyone who wants to successfully use AI in their day-to-day. We need to make sure that we understand what we need AI for to begin with, and then create a structured map on how we want to use that. A lot of people often get, I would say, get spooked, if that is the right word, when it comes to AI. It's like, oh, this is too much. But just think of AI as a friend, or someone that will work accordingly the way you want them to work. And that is the building foundation. That is the bare bones of, making AI to work.
Exactly. Making AI work for you rather than you working for AI. So All right, I wanted to talk about why branding, well, we talked a little bit about why branding matters so much, but this just shows kind of the scope of how influential your marketing or your branding is throughout the whole AI process. So we have the brand strategy, the substance, right? This is you. We have the positioning. That's the external brand. That's your audience groups. That's your competitors. That's how you differentiate yourself in the market. Your AI tools need to know that in order to position the content correctly and appropriately, right? Then we have the expression. I think a lot of people will start to use generative AI in visual expressions, but also we use it a lot in the text expressions that we use in the content and all of the other things too. So this is where you get to shape the AI tools to showcase the persona that you would like, right? That's your character, the way that you communicate, how you tell your story. That's all defined by you. That shouldn't be defined by AI, right? You need to be the one to do that. All right. So then what we have is our brand strategy. We've trained our AI. That gives us a tool that we can actually use. We like to look at AI kind of like a digital intern, where it's going to have all of the information in the world, right? We talked about the big data thing, right? It can recognize patterns. That's the whole foundation of AI, right? And it gives you really, really great tools, but it doesn't know the nuance around you, your business. It doesn't necessarily have context around what's happening in the world or your geographic location or your industry right this moment. So you have to coach it, right? Any intern that you get is going to be bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, excited to tackle their new role, right? They're fresh out of school, they have great knowledge, but they may not always have the context in order to complete something perfectly every time. So that's how we have to start thinking about AI. Any tools that you use with AI is how they are really great in some respects and where you actually need to coach them, right? Because there is a gap there, and that's where we, as the AI managers per se, have to come in and coach and give feedback and quality control the work that comes from these tools. Eager, can do, inexpensive, right? There are going to be some mistakes, rookie mistakes. We have to direct, we have to supervise and quality control things. But things are always evolving and changing. And where ChatGPT was still is one of the primary tools, now we have access to so many more to start filling in the gaps with different AI tools as well. So let's talk a little bit about some of the use cases where people use AI in business. One, marketing, right? This is the content creation, the image generation, the strategy building, campaign building. Hey, ChatGPT, can you help me create a social media campaign for Valentine's Day for my flower business, right? I want to run this campaign from January 15th to, Valentine's Day, February 14th. This is how I want to do it. And then after that, I want to run a week-long campaign about, the sales and that kind of thing. So that's where ChatGPT is great. Okay, here's a campaign. Let's build up a calendar, all that fun stuff. Then we start getting into things like brainstorming, where we can work with different AI tools, and we can actually, we're starting to be able to build really effective custom tools specifically for you to be able to use AI to brainstorm, where we can build custom assistants. Say, I need help with coming up with ideas for new products or a new service that I want to integrate into my business. This is my core business strategy. Now I want to start looking into branching out into new ideas, right? We can build these really strategic custom tools for people to be able to use, right? Then we dive into data review. So this is something as a non-analytical thinker. I'm a creative thinker. I love writing. I love creating visually. I can do that really, really well and very effectively. What I'm not very good at is looking at numbers. I need help looking at the graphs, looking at the data in order to help me tell the story that I'm trying to figure out in my head, right? Because all numbers really do is just tell the story, right? They show what's happening. And so I need help doing that, right? And I'm sure many of you do as well, because numbers are not everyone's game. AI tools can help you analyze the data and tell the story, right? They can help you look at, here is my marketing report, here's my goal, what I actually want to achieve. Are these analytics pointing me in the right direction? Or this is my goal. What analytics should I be looking at to help tell that story, to help reach that goal, right? So data review is really a key tool for a lot of people, especially because that skill set is, again, very specialized. There's whole university degrees based on analytics, right? And so for people who may not need or want to understand the full scope, but need to understand the slice that is so impactful for your business in marketing, is really, really key. These AI tools can help you along with that as well. It can also help with research, right? And being able to pull in data and information from the web, needing to understand buyer patterns and customer behaviors. That's not something that we can really easily do on our own if we don't have all of those research tools and skill sets. So data review with AI can really help us pull some of that information together and help us shape an idea of how we want to move forward with our marketing and with our business. Then we have process streamlining. AI can help us streamline our business processes, right? It can help us build emails, right? Or templates for our internal email communications. It can help us create checklists and processes for our internal team to be able to really smoothly transition from their role to the next, to hand off the project to the next team member, right? So the process streamlining is really important. It can also help us build a lot of foundational ideas in our business processes to be able to set us up from the get-go, right? I don't know how many times I've seen people trying to build business strategies and processes and end up 2 years down the road. This is chaos. I don't understand what went wrong, where this went. And so being able to use AI tools to help us from that foundational level build up a strategy from the get-go. The last one on here is lead generation. But before I get into that too much, because this will build onto the next phase. Yeah, Ryan, I was just going to ask, what are some other thoughts about this?
Well, I just checking some of the questions. There's a good question here on, what's the right AI tool to use for some of these activities? And the truth is the tool that you become familiar with. But generally speaking, these general tasks here would be good for ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok. These are the large language models produced by OpenAI and Google and XAI. And then once you become a power user, you'll start to say, but when I'm creating images, I'm going to go use Midjourney or Sora. So I would say probably more important than the tool you're using is the skill set on how to learn to engage and speak to the AI. And so it's natural language, which is the best part. You can verbally communicate it through text or voice. And ultimately, it's about providing really clear direction, what they call prompting. So I just wanted to touch on that. That was a question. And just while I have the mic, we're going to drop a poll down below as well. And we're kind of curious to hear, what are your biggest challenges in terms of adopting AI? Is it because of, privacy and ethics? Is it lack of time to explore tools? Is it budget constraints, perhaps? So we'd love to hear your chats on that as well. I see people are already answering. So back to you, Megan. I just wanted to answer that quick question.
Thank you. Yeah, I also do see a question about, do we have in Alberta some educational place to get training on how to build AI agents? So that's a really interesting question, because there's a number of different areas that we could dive into, because there's a lot of help out there on the internet, Google, YouTube, all of those things. 910 actually does a lot of that education ourselves in our training academy. We focus on a lot of AI stuff, whether that's building your own custom GPT. In September, just a little bit of an allude to the next webinar session that we'll be doing is based on ChatGPT specifically. We'll be talking about custom assistants there. But something that ARPIT is going to demonstrate a little bit is how to customize some of the AI assistants that are already available in different tools that we have in our arsenal. So we have a lot of capabilities, and there is a lot of training that is available on how to build custom agents. Actually, on Tuesday, I did a session on that in our training academy. So if you're interested, come check us out at the training academy, because we definitely cover that for sure. But Arpit, I wanted to kind of pass it over to you to talk a little bit about lead generation in AI and how we can take things, go from the generative AI into the responsive AI, and have AI agents that interact with our leads and bring them into our ecosystem. So I will pass the mic over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Megan. You know, as you just said, from moving from using AI to create content, brainstorm, create some processes, I want to really emphasize on how AI is being used by businesses to generate leads, engage their customers, stay, keep on sending them good information, bring them back for more business. And a lot of businesses are deploying that in real time. Um, we're just not talking about how AI can be used for creating content. I want to emphasize how AI is being used by real businesses out there in Alberta, in Saskatchewan, or anywhere in North America to generate more leads and get more business. Now, the word AI agent, that has become super popular. Everyone wants an AI agent. What the heck is an AI agent? What do these agents do? Like, that is the
Yeah.
question, that comes to my mind. I was explaining this to my grandmother the other day, and I told her, hey, think of an AI agent as someone that is just like a smart helper, works 24/7, and its job is to make you win. That is it. Think of it as a virtual person that's going to help you win in your day to day. Now, businesses in this day and age have started using some of these AI agents. When we open a restaurant's website or we try to book in an appointment at a local salon, we'll have a lot of these AI agents as chatbots or voice agents that are there that help customers with their questions, book them in for appointments, and help them get their day to day done, right? So on the screen here, I'm going to focus on two agents that we have: AI as a receptionist that can chat with your customers, that can book their appointments in, that can take phone calls, and the social agent that, think of it as a social media sidekick. It will keep your Instagram and Facebook fresh while you don't have time to do that, right? So let's take a look at what that helps businesses with. This is the end game. When you have AI working for you as a business owner, it will help you generate leads. It will convert those leads. Conversion is extremely important for businesses, especially in this time in the economy when we want that extra business, we want that extra customer in. AI can now convert that lead into a paying customer, keep them engaged, and then do this on a flywheel, right? I would love to show how this is done in real life.
Awesome. Great segue, Arpit. Thank you so much. Let's dive into a live demo here. I'll stop sharing and let you share your screen here. But just as you're getting that together, these tools are built so that you can customize them. As we've been talking about through this whole session here, so very often people talk about being nervous about adding AI into their workflows, into their business, onto their website to do other things other than content generation, because they don't feel like they have control over how it responds. And that simply is just not the case anymore, right? We have the tools to be able to actually customize, and for the AI that you build into your website, into the processes, to actually fundamentally respond the way that you would, right? And you are able to control that now. So that's just kind of one thing that I wanted to mention as well. Is I've seen that kind of fear a lot from people, and now we don't have to really worry about that quite as much anymore, because there's so much customization that we can embed right within these tools. So I will hand it back over to you, Arpit, to go through a live demo and show kind of how some of these tools work and how we can customize them.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. Now, as you said, I want to emphasize these AI agents will only do what you train them on. They will only work the way you want. It's super simple to customize these AI agents. So I want to show in a couple of AI agents here today, the AI receptionist and the AI content creator, the social agent. Imagine if we know a plumber who loves fixing pipes, does not have any time to take any phone calls or answer customer questions because he's always fixing a pipe, but now has AI that can do that on repeat, maybe even at 2 in the night. When someone's pipe breaks, they don't care if it's 2 or 6 in the morning, they just want it fixed. And now the plumber can get AI to do that, to book that appointment and to answer that question and help that customer right away. So on my screen, we have a few agents that we've built together. One of them is Lisa. I call that she's my chat receptionist. Super simple to configure Lisa. I like the name Lisa, but you can name your AI chat receptionist whatever you want, put an image and define the purpose. This is that one time, training or giving it instructions of what it is supposed to do. As Ryan mentioned previously, prompting is super important. You're telling the AI agent what their purpose is, how you want it to interact with customers, how you want the AI agent to handle inquiries. And once you have this chat agent set up the way you want, you can also define if you wanted to book appointments. Once you have this chat agent set up, you can place this chat agent on a website, that is your business website. And once this chat agent is there on the website, it can start answering customer questions. So let's assume Megan has a rabbit and her rabbit's name is called Boba. So now Megan wants to get the rabbit washed because the rabbit is dirty. It has been playing in the backyard and it got dirty, all muddy up. So let's assume Megan wants to book in an appointment through a business that has an AI agent that can do that. So I'm gonna show that how it works in real life. Hey, I have a rabbit that needs a wash. Megan does not like making phone calls, but she has some questions from this business and she wants them answered right away. So she's now interacting with this AI agent that is on the website, answering her questions. And the AI agent will now get back to her with the information that Megan requires. The AI agent is working hard, trying to get the information that Megan needs. So the AI agent.
I was just going to say, while we're waiting for the AI agent to pull that information, we've got a couple of great questions in the Q&A here as well. So do companies use AI to screen applications for job hiring processes? Yes, that is one of the uses that people use AI for. And you can also set tools like that up as well. And it would really just be about you setting a goal and we can build something around that as well. So now that we have a response, Arpit, I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, well, take a look at this, guys. Like the AI agent said, yes, we offer that service. It starts at $40 for a basic wash. Could you please tell me your name so that I can help you with your booking? And Megan's like, okay, my name is Megan. And now it's going to come back with some more information that is going to help Megan get her bunny rabbit a wash as she wanted that. Okay, ask Megan what's your phone number so that I can continue with your booking. And if you do not want to provide your phone number, what's your email address? So Megan is comfortable providing her phone number, I imagine. And this is, now AI agent for that business capturing a lead for that business right away, answering questions, capturing that lead, and bringing it back. And now it says, okay, can you give me a zip code so that I can confirm if you are nearby enough to come to our store? And Megan gives her zip code like this. Just to add to that, it was configured with this AI agent to ask for zip codes because we don't want to, get customers to travel 1 or 2 hours to come and visit the store, right? Okay, perfect. Could you please provide me with your email address? So Megan does that. And once that is done, it's going to update me about that appointment scheduling. Again, just to emphasize, this was configured in under 10 minutes as an AI agent that is now working 24/7. Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
Ask me what date and time? This Friday at 9:30. Now, once this is happening in real time, the AI agent is capturing this information and bringing it back to the business owner, the rabbit grooming website. Now, this whole conversation gets captured right in here. So the business owner can see what the conversation was there, what AI told Megan, and right away in their CRM, Megan was captured as a lead. Remember that flywheel? Generate leads, try to convert that lead, and keep that client engaged. Just like that, that lead was captured right in the CRM. Right in the CRM. I'm going to use this as an example. Let's say if Jim had a conversation previously, the AI also summarized the conversation for rabbit grooming business owner, sends this summary through an SMS or an email to both the business owner as well as Jim, the actual customer, and creates a task for rabbit grooming business to follow up with Jim. This is
Mhm.
possible today as we speak using an AI agent.
Yeah. I just want to jump in here really quickly to talk a little bit about some of those workflows because like I said at the very beginning, AI sometimes kind of feels like magic, right? Because how on earth is all of this possible? It all is possible because of the programming on the back end, because we understand our business, because we've given the AI the tools that it needs to see our schedule and book into the calendar, to look at our services, to see pricing, and to make sure that we are asking our leads that are coming in where they are so that we're not booking an appointment for somebody who may not be able to show up, right?
Yeah.
All of the processes on the back end of sending the email to the business owner, say, hey, you have a new lead, follow up with them at this phone number to confirm their appointment at this time. That's all done through your automations that you build, right? Or that people can help you build, right? It's not just magic, right? There is a very technical scientific process that's going on the background, right?
Yeah.
So putting these kind of things together, right, we're demystifying a lot of this so that you're able to see how it's not just magic. It's not going to do this on its own, right? You
Yeah.
you do have to understand a little bit about your own business and your own brand to be able to have these tools work the way that they're working with this
Yeah.
example here. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
There is absolute madness to this magic. This only works the way you want it to work. When you're configuring that chat agent, you can connect your booking and scheduling software right to it. You can pre-configure it with more information. You know what? If I want to provide weather updates so that if someone is coming to my store and if it's going to rain and I want to remind them that, hey, please bring in an umbrella because it's going to rain that day, you can also configure that through the agent. There is absolute madness to this magic. It is configurable. There's a scientific way of doing that. And again, just to reiterate, it is not that difficult. Absolutely not
Um,
that difficult.
Really great question in the Q&A here that I just wanted to draw attention to. AI agents are beneficial for businesses, but what's the potential for clients to feel about them, especially for high touch services? That's where there's a lot more manual work involved, right? Where we have a chatbot agent on the website to collect the information, but as a very high touch service, it's still your responsibility to then follow up. You maybe
Yes.
wouldn't want your chatbot to actually quote something on the website,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's a great example is 910. We have so many, our website services are very complex. And so we don't want the AI chatbot to give a number out, right? Because that's not how it works. And so like Arpit was just saying, they only do what you want them to because we're able to program that way. So I just wanted to bring attention to that because that's such a great question.
I have one more agent that's going to blow your socks off when it comes to doing social content. I call it the AI social content agent. But now, just like the chat agent, we have a content creator that can create content when it comes to your social posting. All you have to do is click on create, decide what you want. You want a post, a long video, a campaign, or maybe a blog article. Write the post, click on write with AI. This is for that same rabbit grooming business. So, you know what? This rabbit grooming business is having some promotional offers. So, make a social post to promote summer promos. We have trained this AI social agent to create posts with certain brand voice and tonality just because the business wants that. And right in here, you got a post right there. You can see how it's going to look across your multiple social platforms that are connected, maybe your Instagram page, maybe your Facebook page, but it takes away that guessing game and the hard work of writing that content or that caption for your Facebook platform, for your Twitter platform. And then if you have some nice videos or some nice images of your business, you can just upload them right here, or maybe generate an image using AI, because AI is working hard to do that as well. But this is just what is possible today and what businesses are doing in on a day-to-day basis to save time, get more customers, do this on repeat.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Thank you so much for that, Arpit. I really appreciate the demo there, just showcasing all of the different areas where we can use AI not just to create content, which our lovely content creator assistant does so very well, but also to use responsive AI in a way to help capture leads that are coming to your website. There was a really great question earlier about how does AI generate leads? It doesn't generate leads. It allows them another avenue to connect with you and allows you another avenue to capture that information and streamline the process of following up with people. Because it's, as small businesses, there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many resources that we have access to. We don't have the dollar spend that McDonald's does to hire a massive marketing team, to hire a massive sales team. We have to use tools like what Arpit was just showing in order to stay on top of things and in order to be able to streamline our own processes so that we can, exist in the business world, right? And maintain the structures that we have in place. Yeah, Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, I've just been madly answering as many questions as I could. There's lots of questions about the tool, and the long and short is this was a very quick demo. Arpit was showing the text chatbot, but there's actually a voice receptionist as well. At the end, we're going to share a screen where you can go to 910's website and try the chatbot on our website, or we'll have a phone number that you can call and you can try the voice demo as well. And some people ask,
Yeah.
do people think these are weird? What's the reaction? It's a new technology, so there's mixed emotions with that. But what we found is the AI chatbots, when you're texting, they're very good. They're almost indistinguishable. You can't really tell there's an AI in the back end. That said, we always disclose. We make it clear that you're engaging with an AI. The voice is getting better, but you can tell that it's an AI chatbot, sometimes just with the slight awkward pauses, but they're getting better and better every week. So
Mm-hmm.
there
Yep.
will be a point where people are engaging with chatbots and it would be indistinguishable between, is this an AI or a human?
Yep.
And our best practice here is we always disclose if it's an AI. I think it's
Yep.
good and ethical to do so. Anyways, back to you,
Yeah.
Megan.
Yeah, thank you. So just what Ryan had referenced there, if you go to this link or scan the QR code here, you can try it out for yourself. Have some fun with it. Play around. engage with the chatbot, see what it can do, and just have fun. One of the good things about the new technology that's coming in is that it is kind of fun to play with. I won't lie, it is kind of fun to build something new. And as a puzzler, I really like to put pieces together, and it's a lot of fun to see how that all comes together and shows up on the front end for your customers, for your clients. So it's a lot of fun that way. This all that we just demoed, these are all new things that you may have heard about from our previous webinars that we've been talking about. These are kind of the tech stacks that we've tried to streamline a lot of the marketing platforms that people use, the schedulers, the CRMs, the AI tools, the review management software, the SEO software, all of those different tools kind of combining into one. So that's the background on that, and you see a little bit of how that works live today. But if you're interested in talking a little bit more to us, that you can book a demo with us through that link as well. But these are some of the webinars that are coming up over the next few months here with 910 and our partnership with the amazing Business Link team. We're taking a little bit of a break in August, a little bit of a summer vacation. So enjoy that sunshine, but we'll be back in September with some specific ChatGPT knowledge. And then we'll be diving into some other things like design, basic graphic design for your marketing, and some paid advertising. So we can talk a little bit about how to structure ad budgets and things like that. Yeah, Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, so just one thing, like Megan mentioned, next month we're taking a break from the webinar. It's August. Go have fun, spend time outside with your families and friends. That said, if you do reach out to us, we are working with a lot of small, medium businesses now to get them set up on the technology to build out all of their AI agents so that they're ready to go in September. And there was a lot of questions on how do you train this? What if it has the wrong information? So this is where we provide a VIP service where we call it our white glove service, where we're gonna show you how to configure the tool. We're gonna follow best practices on giving it the right instructions, or what are called prompts, helping you to build the knowledge base. And really through our technology partner, Arpit is an AI specialist in his team. They have just a fantastic level of support for the tools that we're building. And yeah, so this is for really any business. If you just really want to capture leads and answer questions on your website 24/7, it's a great tool, and it's fairly easy to set up and configure, especially once you're guided by a team like us. So
Yeah. And yeah, like Ryan mentioned, you're not in the weeds on your own. It's a very overwhelming, exhausting process to try and figure out. And that's why we're here to help support and guide you on that process so that we can provide some of that knowledge that you might be missing. And there is a lot of misinformation on the internet. There's a lot of places to find wrong information. And so we want to be able to provide a little bit of really great structured support that will actually be beneficial and help you. So with that said, we still have a few more minutes here. So if there are any other questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A there.
Yeah, Megan,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, while folks are doing that, again, feel free to type in the chat your questions. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly thank our amazing presenters, Arpit, Megan, and Ryan, for sharing their expertise today for today's session. Yeah, really interesting with the world of marketing and AI. And we were chatting about how things are not only changing every few months, but sometimes every few weeks and days. So it's good to stay on top of this knowledge. For me, the one big takeaway was using the AI agents, right? And I think a lot of businesses can really benefit by using them and maybe incorporating them into their platform. And I like what you mentioned, Megan, about kind of just playing around, doing some testing, right? See what works, what doesn't work, and kind of going from there. So yeah, again, feel free to check out Business Link's website for some of our services and programs as it relates to marketing as well. And yeah, we have just a couple of minutes for a few more questions. So if anyone has questions, type those in the chat and we can maybe get to those. Yeah, I'll pass things to Ryan here. I see your hand up.
one that keeps coming up is, and we neglected to mention it, we demo this and work with you to configure your digital marketing dashboard. So what Arpit was showing is what we call our digital marketing dashboard, or your business app. And within that, that is one unified dashboard that brings together your analytics from your website, from your social media. You can manage all your social media posting from there. You can plug in SEO tools. You can manage all of your online Google, Facebook reviews, and it has the AI agents or the AI workforce built in, which is what Arpit was showing for the demo there. So our entry level plan is $95 per month. If you're reaching out through this webinar, we'll work with you and provide some preferential pricing for our business link friends. But from there, then you can really customize your dashboard with more or less tools. And, so for example, if you are currently using MailChimp, then you don't need to use the built-in email provider within our dashboard. But if you want to consolidate everything into one place, you may choose to get rid of some other platforms, save some of those monies, and consolidate everything into, again, what we call our unified dashboard with the AI workforce or AI assistance built in.
Yeah. I saw a lot of how do we actually build these? How do we build these agents? How do we actually set these up? So there are a lot of different approaches to how to prompt AI chatbots. Our next webinar will definitely talk a lot about prompting, specifically prompting. And again, in our training academy, we talk a lot about AI and how to set up the custom agents and things like that. So there's a lot of knowledge and education out there, but a lot of it is very simple. For the average Joe like me, who is not a computer programmer, to be able to actually set those things up. Yeah, Ryan.
I want to jump in. I'll be a broken record for you for sure, but if anyone's attended these sessions before, you'll recall there's that screen where we always say we start at brand strategy. That is the foundation. So because when we're working with you to build one of these AI agents and to train them on your company and your products and your service and your general like target audience, where does that information come from? Well, it comes from your brand strategy and your marketing plan. So if you can think of this as like you have to think and document before you build. So if you are trying to build an AI chatbot and you have no information that's well documented about your business, about your market, about your pricing, about all of this sort of stuff, well, then what are you going to train your AI with? So one of our services is really mapping out that strategy before we start using the tool. A lot of people will jump straight to the tool. It's fun to play around with them, but you really have to train them with the proper information. So I'd say that's probably the number one service we provide is onboarding you to these tools and making sure that they're set up and configured properly.
Great question in the chat is, do the dashboards work with other tools like Google Workspace? Yes, it's integrated directly with Google, and there's a lot of tight integrations with Google. There's also a lot of other integrations too. So depending on kind of what tools you're already using, we can look at different strategic integrations and APIs. But Google, the one that was specified, yes, absolutely, it does integrate very tight. It's actually based on Google listings, so you're able to connect directly to Google that way. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, I'll turn it back over to David now that we're a couple minutes left.
Yeah, I think that definitely covers a ton here. This world is quite in depth, as you know, and more is being kind of shown to the world every day. So I think this really kind of helps position people for success in, again, using AI in their business for marketing purposes. We're just have 3 minutes left here, so we're running down on time. Just a couple quick points that I want to mention. AI in marketing is really important, but I know kind of getting into the world of marketing, you may need kind of market research to kind of help understand your customers. I will mention that BusinessLink does offer kind of market research. So if anyone needs kind of that early stage data, definitely check out that service from us. And kind of another related service is our digital marketing program that we offer through BusinessLink, where it's 4 sessions that you get to connect with a digital marketing strategist all for free. So that kind of can help you set the stage for kind of future success in your marketing and sales initiatives as well, alongside kind of learning about AI and what it can do for marketing, but also operationally within your business, right? I know we're just kind of really talking on marketing, but it can really be used in tons of different areas of your business. Yeah, Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just sensing a little bit of anxiety or overwhelm from some of the questions like, well, how do I learn to use these tools? So we'll certainly help you to configure them and make sure that they're set up properly. We'll guide you along. But we're talking about the technology, the software, the tools. But remember, we pair that with our training academy. So through our training academy, 910 is aiming to equip you with knowledge, confidence, skills to manage your own digital marketing and then to use the most efficient tools, which a lot of those will have AI in. So you do not have to be a programmer. It's natural language. You do not have to be a marketing expert. These tools really level the playing ground, but for any tool, you need to learn how to use the tool. And so that's where our training academy comes in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Ryan and Megan. Yeah, so I think that's all again we have time for today. Feel free to scan the QR code provided here to sign up for our newsletter. And like I said, we'll look at sending out the full recording of the webinar in the next day or two. So keep your eye out for that. And as mentioned, we're taking a bit of a break in August, but we'll be kind of joined back in September here in getting started with our next webinar. And a quick point, we do have tons of great webinars recorded on our YouTube channel. So I think I checked today, there was, I think 139 videos there on all different topics, including marketing, and a few that 910 has also delivered in the past. So be sure to check out some of those to help kind of equip you with some of the additional knowledge and skills that you might need. So again, thank you to 910 and our amazing 3 presenters. I'm seeing some positive feedback in the chat, so that's really great to see. And yeah, everyone, have yourselves a great afternoon and take care for now.
Enjoy some sunshine.
Bye, everyone.